completed by the time I head out. So, other than that, that's what I've been working on this week. It's been keeping me busy, that's for sure.
Gary and Darcy?
Well, how about the ceiling on that, on the runway that KLJ did? Did that exceed $750,000?
I think that was like 250, but it's definitely.
It should have, but.
Well, it's definitely worth looking at, you're right. So the KLJ did do the
$68,000
airport.
for that gate, but they did all that ceiling too. I never seen the bid.
I don't think it was. I think it was like 189.
Yeah, I would assume it didn't make
Yeah,
the
and we may
threshold.
come, and maybe we'll come close, or maybe, but it's just, I think in the past, have we ever had one before? Has there been a year that we've had it?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we had a big
Yeah.
$5 million grant on the airport, and I think we had the big buyout FEMA stuff, so.
Okay.
Yeah, we've had it.
Yeah, and so all she said was this is just her indicator, so she can start ordering what we need for a federal audit. So that's why I'm collecting that information for her. So I'll get that all, sent over to her. I'll look through those resolutions, and I'll let her know too that they should be in the resolutions that I uploaded for the audit.
And
And then if she
Justina,
needs anything else, I'll look through.
there's also, and I haven't seen one recently, but, or maybe I have, I don't know. I've been on vacation, I don't know what I know. But, normally when we get a grant, what Chris would always do would be to do the resolution and have all the grant papers with it. I don't know if we've gotten any grants since you've been here or not. They would, the people who are getting it would send you all the information and then you'd make up a resolution.
Excellent point.
Like all those ones that I sent you.
Cold board grant.
Well, and then the grant has the codes.
Yeah, that's where you come up
The
with the
accounting
codes for
codes
it.
and all that, so they're.
Right. Well, I'll look and see, I mean, cause I don't know, she probably has, I haven't had to do that yet, but she probably has files of each grant. I'll just have to look and see where she filed them. I can look in her email, but I don't know how far back it goes,
Right.
and, what she scanned, or maybe she scanned them all into her desktop too. So I'll take a look, and see what I can find,
Here comes Bruce.
and then we'll go from there.
Okay,
Okay, and if you can always call her too.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Already,
Yep.
sure that we vote yes on that. there was one other
Yep.
meeting that I went to.
yeah, I think there was like 8 of them, so there's not too many we gotta look for, but I'm sure they're around. And once she said if we could at least just get the resolution, that'll give her an idea, because it should have the amounts on it, correct?
Yes, absolutely, they should be in there.
Okay,
Those are what I
so-
sent you.
Right, perfect. So that's really what, like I said, she said, if you can at least have the resolutions for them, we know, the amount, and then we'll go from there. So,
Okay,
other than that, but yeah, so that's what I'm doing as of now, and I hope to have all that sent in to her by Tuesday before I go.
Oh, perfect.
And then I'm headed to Helena.
all right.
Information.
We'll say hello to Greg.
Oh, will do. I'm gonna read your book on my downtime.
Oh, yeah.
While I'm in Helena, when I'm there after the meetings, I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna read that book. It better be good, or I'm coming for you.
All right.
It's all lies, it's all lies.
I found this book in my bookcase from my father-in-law, so now I gotta read it.
Yeah, I gave Tom that book.
All right, well, you guys have a wonderful afternoon, and if you need me, you know where to find me.
All right, thanks.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Okay, what's real fast,
I met with Norma Zolnikoff, the mother of the 2 representatives from Billings. She lives here in town. She's got this, she's trying to put grants together for area development. Floyd Fisher and myself and Nicole Borner met with her on Wednesday night.
Okay, Wednesday. Okay,
I talked to her. What I talked to her about is what we're doing with the Bear Collins. That's what she'd asked about.
All right, thanks so much.
We're obviously
Thank you
waiting
very
for
much.
okay.
Great West.
All right.
Hi, Bruce.
Hi. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
We understand you you might have some concerns with
I never got an answer back from you, number one.
regarding,
We're still thinking.
You're still thinking?
is it regarding the,
Conversation last Friday.
which is
About the
paying for
audit?
the grant? I mean, paying for the audit?
Yes.
Well, we talked to Marcy, we didn't think it'd be a good idea. So,
Well, I can see where she would think it is.
yeah. Well, you know, they got a $20,000 gift, they had $11,000 for that, they had money to pay for an audit, they just refused to do it. They're still refusing to do it. I mean, the chairman of the board was for giving it, but Tracy said, no, we can't do an audit. So the board is run by Tracy's.
That's not entirely true. I went and talked to the senior board on Monday because I had not told them I was coming here. And I let them know that I had been here
Okay.
and I'd asked for an audit. And she was entirely in favor of having one done,
Mhm.
so. and
They're
the
not
board-
paying for it.
And the board members I talked to were in favor of it too. They said it would clear up any of the rumors and bad feelings. And I said, well, that was my option to give the commissioners to try and solve the problem and shut these rumors down. It's,
Well, that's something that's completely backwards to what we've heard from them.
Well, I can tell you the director has two faces. She'll tell you one thing and change her mind 15 minutes later, so. I mean, I've run into that, that's why she almost had me thrown in jail. And then she denied it.
They have the option to contact us, they can make that request, and I really doubt that we'd ever deny it.
No.
So the other thing too is, so Homes on the Range recommended an
Yeah.
auditor.
Not Homes on the Range, Area 2.
Area two, no. It was the same an auditor that did it for the
Oh, okay.
Homes on the
Oh,
Range.
okay.
And affordable and certified and all that, and they seem to wanna have a review in lieu of an audit, but it needs to be an independent, they need to comply with whatever Area 2 says they need. And they're not working with Area 2 on this,
No.
and they were offered an auditor at a reasonable price, and they have turned it down. You're hearing the opposite.
yes, I am, that they were not offered one and,
Is it the issue is they just don't wanna pay for it?
they say they don't have the money to pay for one, but I have not looked at anybody's checkbook on it.
Yeah.
Tell them to contact us and make the request. I
But-
can't,
Make the request for us to pay for it?
yeah.
We can deny it, but.
But if they wanna put that issue to bed, because that's, we're tired of this.
I would think everybody is.
Yeah, but why is it our fault for not paying for the
We're not
audit?
paying for it.
That's not
Oh,
fair.
God.
Well,
If they've somehow convinced everybody that we're the reason they don't have an audit, that's
Exactly.
insane.
It really is, cause they're a 501c, they're entirely separate from us.
you know, I don't know about all of the fine points,
Yeah.
and I never went and talked to them about the fine points. I came with an option to try and solve the problem, and apparently that's not good, but.
Well, it's
For the
not
public to
legally
understand,
recommended.
it's a separate entity altogether from the county.
But
So
there's
what they do,
county money's involved in
oh,
it. so-
yeah, well, we give them a gift.
Yeah, but
Basically.
we, I'm gonna tell you something, it has liability and legal implications, and we are not party to what's going on between Area 2 Agency on Aging and the Must-Sell, so it's not appropriate for us to do that.
Exactly.
Our legal counsel
Yeah.
told us that.
So,
We can't get involved.
yeah, and like I said, yeah, my sense was it would be the good deed that gets punished, and it probably sounds like it already is.
They need to just shut down and we'll start up a new senior center. Simple as that.
In fact, Bruce, we're talking about that this afternoon. Appointing a
Yeah.
board.
We're gonna appoint a board. We've
I
already talked to
appreciate-
people who are willing to do it.
I appreciate what you're trying to do. I really do.
Yeah,
But the lack of action on their part is not our fault. We're not the reason that they're being requested to audit, and we're not responsible to cure that. We got money we would give them if they just get the audit done and if they can resume their relationship with Area 2 Agency on Aging.
I guess one other question, is the money available direct to the program without going through Area 2?
no. No, it's requested from Area 2.
Can it be requested from the senior services?
I don't think so.
Never has been.
No, it's not, it doesn't have to be Area 2. But, yeah, I know it hasn't been, but is there a way to separate that?
I have no idea.
Well, but.
I'm just looking for
So
options for
when
it.
we get the money,
Yeah, but why
there's an
would we?
administration fee for Area 2 that comes out of the money that we get. And I would say because it's a federally, they have to work with.
It's
Area 2.
match money.
It's match money for
Yeah.
a federal grant.
Yeah,
And I
So
don't
it's
think
tax
we're even-
dollars that go into the program from the county, and the state money and the federal money?
Well, it helps with that grant, but it's not as if the Area 2 Agency on Aging isn't doing something for the seniors. They're continuing the services. They're just not giving it to that group.
Yeah,
They're,
that's
they're having the lunches,
exactly.
they're having transportation, they're continuing the services, and then they have our match money to support them. See, people don't understand that. They think we've shut the spigot off. Seniors are continuing to get services. They're just not getting them there because they have issues with complying with Area 2 Agency on Aging Board. And no longer, Bruce, this is no longer just Marcy.
No, I asked, also, I said, have you had a letter of non-compliance from this board? They said, yes, but they won't tell us what we're non-compliant
They've had
with.
two.
that
two
is
letters.
not true.
One from us is from Area 2.
It's really simple. Get an audit, independent certified audit done.
It is.
And they've been talking about that for going on 6 months now.
I
They're
can't
just
believe it.
determined not to do it.
And that's what I tried to get done,
Yeah.
you know.
You tried to get us to get off the dime, but we'll get blamed if somehow
Either
that'll
way.
get turned against us. And we're not obligated to do that. In fact, it's not appropriate. They need to stand on their own feet. And they should have the money to do that stuff.
As a board.
As a board,
As a board.
that's what they're there for.
And that's what the audit is concerned about, fiscal responsibility.
And they have had, Bruce, I probably have it somewhere, I don't know where, but they have had direction, this is what you need to do. What, bullet, this is what you need to do.
Yeah,
And at the end, it's an audit.
And their response to that has been, let's get rid of Marcy. So they've gone around, they've got her
yeah.
out of the picture, and she's out of the picture now. Now they're dealing with the board, and now it feels like this board has had it with them. The independent, without Marcy being on there, so,
It is a problem.
but I'm sensing, I really appreciate what you were trying to do, and on the surface, it sounded, well, fine, if we can bring this to a head, and if we can get this answered, but laying that at our feet, it's just not our responsibility to do that.
They're not being forthright with you.
They're not.
No.
They've been offered
They-
an auditor, and they have refused.
They don't want an audit because they're afraid what they're gonna find out. And maybe they won't find out anything, but they're not. They just have to have an audit.
Well, and then they go, well, we don't need a full auditor, we don't need a certified public. Yeah, they do,
Yes,
they
you
need to do
do.
whatever Area 2 says they need to do to comply with them to become back in compliance. Because they have rules, they can't give money to an entity if there are red flags. I mean, is this making sense?
Well, it is, but, you know, they said they've had letters and they met everything they were asked to do, except for an audit.
No.
I don't know.
Well, just
I haven't seen
think
any
about
of
what you
it,
just
but-
said though, except for an audit. Why haven't they produced an audit?
And they never complied to all the things they needed to comply
They didn't go to training,
Cause
I know they
didn't
didn't.
go to the training, they didn't go to the governor's college, which were required.
Required.
And they didn't go, and if the cook couldn't go, or the director couldn't go, one of the board members was supposed to go, and none of them went.
Right.
So they're out of compliance. And that's 2 years in a row they haven't gone.
It was in
Why?
October, the trainings were in October, cause I remember last year they just did not go.
They did not
No.
go. No.
You know, Bruce, we went to one of those lunches. That board was up there bad mouthing us and totally confusing all the issues that we don't think having any sort of public forum to discuss this would be productive at all.
No, I'm sure it wouldn't be.
Because you just get people talking about God and country and how they're gonna, you know, stand up for the seniors, and we're not. It's just not true. As a matter of fact, it's not true to the extent that we're willing to appoint a new board, take this on, and it's probably gonna cost us a little more money. But, we wanna help the seniors. The only thing standing in the way of helping the seniors is that board.
Yeah,
Have you got together with that board and discussed things?
not there.
Yeah, they've been in here, they've
They've
been in here.
been in here, but,
We discussed.
That board is just about all new people from what it was 6 months ago. You know, they made big changes trying to get things,
It's all new people over the last 3 months, it's changed at least 3 times. But once, the director, the chairman's in there now, will not work with us at all.
Exactly, there's some leadership issues
Mostly
there.
because I'm here,
well, I can understand that part.
you know, bet you can.
They need to get around.
More than anybody in the room besides you.
I think you're right, yeah. But,
again, I wanna thank you for trying to
yeah,
look out for us sincerely. But the real solution is, the sooner we get another board in place, the sooner that we continue to resume these people start understanding that there is a board for this. The only thing is we can't go over there because they have a lease on the building. Kinda sad. We can't use the county's building to support the senior centers because that board's standing in the way. If they can work it out with Area 2, that's fine. Honestly, that's who they need to focus on trying to make happy, is Area 2.
well, I believe that contract runs out in February
Again,
again, and we don't have to renew it,
Oh, for the building?
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, February.
So if it goes that far, they can take it somewhere else.
Well, we actually have it on our agenda to move forward. It won't be this week, we're gonna discuss it, but to actually get this board in place so that if they can't remedy their situation.
Somebody needs to remedy it.
Well, that board cut the money to the kitchen in Millstone. Said you don't have any money anymore.
She
So
shut
they
it
can-
down.
So they are doing it on their own now, and they've also got several people who are willing to be on the board that we're gonna have to appoint. And it'll be separate from these
It'll be a
people,
new
because
board.
they just,
And one we appoint.
But even, let's say, the other thing too is now it's kind of a relationship issue, and I know I keep repeating this. But let's say they have the audit and they determine that there was no malfeasance or anything.
And one, it could well be.
And that's probably likely, you know? They've created so much ill will with that board, that Area 2 is not obligated to work with them.
From the letter I read from Marcy from Area 2, it goes both ways real strong. And I didn't read that letter until I was there Monday.
Yeah.
And I told they had one, and I told you I had one, you said you'd never seen it, and didn't know if there was one. There damn sure is one, but I think that went both ways real strong.
Well, I'm with you, but that's
Oh,
why Marcy's out of it now. Marcy has nothing to do with what that board decides to do with.
I thought the letter was well written, the one that I read. The only issue is there was not a time frame listed. It says you need to respond by this date or funding is cut. and it was not in that letter. That's why this just keeps dragging out.
I know it does. And it's not good for anybody.
No.
Well, that's why the sooner that we get this other thing in place.
Yeah.
But it's already in place, the seniors are not being denied.
No.
That money that Area 2 Agency on Aging is being spent for the seniors here in this town. They're just not giving it to the Muscle Council on Aging. They've arranged for meals at the back porch, they've got what they call pop-up meals at homes on the range, they've arranged for transportation, they're arranging for transportation to go back and forth to the meals. They're taking care of the seniors.
And they deliver meals,
And they deliver
And they
meals.
deliver all the meals,
yeah.
which is important.
Yeah, I talked to somebody yesterday and she was very grateful for home delivered meals, and they're different, she said, but they're good. So she was very grateful that she was still getting her meal delivered, because she can't get out, so yeah.
I think it's a small group of people over there that are just digging their heels in,
Yeah, that's what
not
it is.
willing to work with anybody,
Yeah, I can tell you
and
too.
just putting the blame on everybody else.
Well, I think it'd be worthwhile to go talk to them, and if,
Do you wanna be that spokesperson?
I'm not afraid to,
You know, let's pull that thread.
But not for us, but
I'd-
we're.
I'll do it for the betterment of the community.
Yeah.
And the county.
Great.
What are we gonna accomplish?
I don't know. You brought up,
More mudslinging, I mean, when we sat in that meal and we got slung all over, I was so infuriated I couldn't even begin to
The
speak.
reason why I said that, well, and I understand what you're saying, is that you can do that and just, you'll find out what we're talking about. That's exactly what's gonna happen.
I'm just afraid, this is me, I'm afraid that if we do anything between Area 2 Agency and Muscle County Agency, it's only gonna make things worse.
Yep.
They need to work out their issues with them, period. And we can't get in the middle of it.
so if you do this other change you're talking about, that will eliminate one of them, or?
Well, it means that money would, from Area 2 Agency on Aging, now the grant would go to the new board. And they would have the money to continue to fund all the services. Our match would go to them, which would go to the new board. And they would have money to continue to fund the services, which they're doing right now, by the way. But we just don't have access to that building.
And we will in February.
Where we will in February. The seniors are gonna be taken care of. But what I'm concerned about, just personally, is there's been a lot of people give their own money to keep that thing open. And the board on that is not resolving the issue with Area 2 Agency. And they can no longer say it's a Marcy issue. They're dealing directly with the rest of the board members. And they're not satisfying them either. So it's your both ways
Right.
argument. It's like, well, they said, we're gonna take you out of this because we wanna get the personalities out of it. And they're burning the bridge with the other board members.
Well, I'm sure Marcy'd like you to taken care of too.
Well, she's working in the
Oh, yeah.
backgrounds to make sure none of these services are disrupted. She's made arrangements with the back porch, with homes on the range. She's working on solving the Melstone issue.
Yeah.
She's making sure the services,
She is.
and she's getting a black eye for it.
And we are too.
And the only reason we're honest is
Yes,
because
you are.
it's the only reason we are is because people aren't being honest about what's going on.
Yeah.
Just your very first step is to get the audit done, and that still may not salvage the relationship.
I
With
don't-
Area 2, not us, Area 2.
Yeah, yes. It's, and they seem to think that Area 2 is obligated to work with them. They are not obligated to work with them. They don't have
Be
to.
sure that it's not in here somewhere.
Well, it's apparent they're not.
Well, see, you're saying that, but who's not working with who?
You know, it's,
I mean, Bruce, you're saying they're
I
apparently
think
not.
it's both
because-
ways.
Well, but you got an independent board now. Well, sometimes in in working relationships that can be damaged so bad that they're not themselves.
True enough.
That's possible, I know it is. So the board that you're thinking of appointing would be working with Area 2 then, or is it the Area 2 State Board?
They'd be working with Area 2 Agency on Aging, instead of the grant money going to the Council on Aging, it would go to the new board. And they would continue to provide the services throughout the community.
So if the new board makes a decision, that's the way it goes then, right?
For us. I mean,
Well,
they can still
the
have-
only difference too is we have no control over that board that are filing this.
Nope.
This board would be under our supervision.
Right.
We would, which is, I think, a good thing. But if you get a batch of commissioners in here that aren't, you know, it could be a good and a bad thing. The independency of that board can be a good or a bad thing. But at least we would have, and we can help them. I mean, you know, we've also made this comment more than once. If the match money that we're providing, if they need more money for more rations or, you know, to improve the quality, we're willing to talk to them about that. But I'm hearing from, like we heard from Dan, that the quality of the services that they're providing is not an issue. Before it was, people would come in and they talked about the rations on the, what do they call it, Meals on Wheels, and the quality of the food. Rations got smaller, the variety got different, a lot of changes to reduce the quality. And they weren't allowed to go into town and go shopping or anything, but they could only go to their doctor's appointment. And all that sounds technically, you know, defensible to say, well, we're complying with the state. But the bottom line is it has to do with the quality of life for the seniors. And that's when we said, look, if you're cutting rations and you're cutting back on this stuff and you're got issues with driving and you need more money, well, that's how this all started, wasn't it?
Yeah, a lot of red lights started flashing.
Yeah, we had citizens coming in here and complaining, and we said, no, you have to go to the board, we can't do anything about it.
Well, and they were
Complaining
afraid.
to the board, and they were scared to go to the board.
Yeah, they were afraid.
Couple of them went to the board and they got cussed out, so they stopped going to the board, but they just quit.
So you get a new board and start over.
Well, that's the plan.
That's the plan.
Well,
You know, I worked on a job, we were doing a $200 million new courthouse in St. Louis, Missouri. And the job was going nowhere, it was tied up in claims. And we were the construction manager acting for the owner, which was a federal government. And we were fighting with this contractor because we felt he was requesting change orders that he wasn't entitled to. Meantime, the project's not getting built. Relationship is destroyed between. We had the guy from the head of the GSAs come in and say, you guys either start working together or we're gonna replace both staffs. They're gonna replace everybody on the job and we're gonna replace you. And that's why I'm saying relationships can get so screwed up. Sometimes that's the only option, is start over with fresh faces.
It could be there now with both of them, hell, I don't know. I just know it ain't working the way it is.
You're right there.
Well, and you're hearing this, you know, everybody's got a point to what they're saying, but the bottom line is they haven't produced an audit. They've done nothing to resolve the concerns that we're aware of that the Area 2 Agency on Agency has raised. The biggest concern is financial concern. But now it's beyond that, now it's a relationship. Or is this board gonna fight them whenever they say anything, whenever they have any concerns? Is this board gonna say,
I
you can
can't
go
understand
stand?
how Carlson donated $20,000, why didn't they donate it towards the audit? Instead of buying food.
I don't know about donations, other than one that I know came early when they were short on money, they said.
Yeah.
That changed, but
Well, we're explaining this, and we're being recorded, we're explaining this to you because we really appreciate it, you're trying to solve this thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
hopefully there's some information here that you at least understand why we're taking the position we're taking. We think it's the right position in the best interest of the seniors.